Come on in.
If you want to learn how to make $1,000 in 3 seconds, join us.
Go to another place.
Man, just come on in and sit down for 5 minutes. We gonna keep you in here.
Word with me, yeah, you know BT. Know how it go, shout out OCT. No real cap, call out what we see. Whole game ready, baller blitz on 3. No, you can't stand on your own 2 feet. I already know you can't ball with me. Come chop it up with the squad and me. They get a letter, they calling me. BallerAlert. 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 BallerAlert.
Thank you for stopping by.
For sure.
We are the BallerAlert Show. I'm Octavia March.
I'm Ferrari Simmons.
BT.
Oh, I heard somebody say BallerAlert Podcast. Yes, and we are the BallerAlert Podcast, and we're just going to talk a little bit about podcasting today. So for starters, what is the BallerAlert Show? We'll delve into that.
The BallerAlert Show started in 2016 with a couple employees, 11. She called me. B. Simone was actually one of the original hosts, and this gentleman named Sticks Malone. And then that dismantled, and then Kenny Burns revamped it, grabbed OCT, kept me, and then we added Sue Solo. Then it changed again. It was just Sue Solo and myself and Octavia. Then it changed again, and we added BT. Then it changed again, and Sue Solo found some other dope opportunities. She's currently on the radio right now in Atlanta and Hennessy. She's doing a lot. So now it's down to this 3 right here: BT, Octavia, Ferrari Simmons.
For sure. Just for a little, big 3. Just a little context, when we started, and we went through so many changes because a lot of our ex-hosts, they found other opportunities to have their own, platforms and stuff like that. And we support them wholeheartedly. And we just continue to, move forward in what we're doing, but we don't knock what they're doing at all. And they're doing some great things. Like he said, Sue Solo is on the radio right now. She's on AMP, so is Kenny Burns, has his own show on platform. And, we moved on as the big 3, BT, Rari, myself, and keeping the BallerAlert Show moving and grooving.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about hosting a little bit, guys. A little bit of your backgrounds and how it relates to you today.
So I've been on the radio for 10 years here in Atlanta. I worked at V103. I worked at Streets 945. I currently work at a record label, Warner Records. I'm the National Director of Lifestyle and Mix Show Promotion. So my job is basically to make sure DJs have the music that the labels are promoting. I'm still hosting parties, I'm still DJing parties, and I'm still doing the podcast. And on the podcast, we just get on here and talk a lot of smack. That's basically what I do to the podcast.
Yeah, I've been in radio for over a decade, and I've always been in the background, though. I've been on the boards. I do audio engineering, and production is my background. So when you hear, even to this day, I've started at V103, and then I now work at Streets 94.5. And when you hear the commercials or anything of that nature, that's me. The station imaging, going between songs, I do that. I put all that on, and I bring a lot of that to the podcast now. When I was tapped to do this, I was tapped to produce. But, with so many things going on, I stepped up into hosting, and I kind of do anything that we need, filming. I'm filming us right now. Getting the sound quality correct. And when it comes to hosting, my style is to humanize whoever we have coming on our platform. We get a lot of reality stars, who may be judged a lot, for whatever you guys see on TV. I come in and I just try to get to know who that person really is behind all of that stuff that, people see on a regular basis. So that's kind of my hosting style.
Well, before you go, BT, so if you've seen any of our clips, the Lil Boozy clips, the 2C clips, saying he likes regular girls and he doesn't like, if you've seen any of our clips go viral, she's the person who produces clips. She's the one that puts the little movie clips in it, and it just literally goes viral. So it's all her putting that shit, can we curse? No? Putting that stuff together.
Just creative. I just like to create, so yeah.
She's dope.
I started doing radio in Arkansas, and then I eventually moved to Atlanta, and I was on the radio in Atlanta for about maybe like 6 years. And then I decided that the world is changing. Podcast is becoming, such a powerful thing in the world. And, I believe in myself, and I believe in if you got a dream, you shouldn't wait for somebody to give you an opportunity. You should create your own opportunity. And I remember I was on a radio station part-time, and I was like, man, they not doing anything with me. You know what I mean? Like I feel like, I'm a superstar, and I feel like I can hold my own weight. And, a lot of times you see a lot of people getting put in positions, and you just sitting back, you just waiting, and you just waiting for your opportunity. And really, you just wasting your time. Because we live in a day and age where we have the internet, we got these podcasts, people have a voice. You don't have to wait on these big companies to make you sit and wait for years until, somebody else just decide they want to quit their job or they want to get fired, and then they going to say, hey, we'll give you an opportunity now. I know you've been staying on the sideline for 10 years, but, now you have an opportunity. But that's why I really appreciate, Ferrari and the whole BallerAlert team, because Ferrari said, man, I think you would be a good fit to do this, And I remember doing a show, and I was like, man, this feels good. It feels more modern. It feels more, like evolution versus me just doing radio. And I remember I said, I just remember that day where I was just fed up. I was like, man, I'm not going to sit on the sidelines. I'm watching people on the internet, and all these people are like growing their followers, growing their fan base. And I'm just sitting on the radio station trying to figure out and wait on my opportunity until I get a full-time job. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. I think I'm going to take my chances and roll the dice on myself and get these opportunities to interview. Because when I was on the radio, I never got the opportunities to interview anybody. I just kind of felt like somebody that was just treated like, you ain't got the talent to do this. So me coming to BallerAlert, a lot of the viral clips that we did, with interviewing Boosie and so many other people.
Can I say, one of his most viral clips was the DeAndre Sanders interview. I don't know if y'all saw that. That went on every college television network when she said it was killings on the Jackson State campus. I don't know if y'all saw that clip. It was on TMZ. BT asked her that question. I was actually off that day. So you went viral quite a bit. We went on TMZ 4 times this year, so.
Dang, I was
and
on
for Jacquees as well.
Oh, yeah.
I was on TMZ for Jacquees when you said that about LMA.
LMA, yeah.
Was that your question?
No, that was your question. That was BT.
Yeah,
BT. BT asked the questions. I don't know how you muster it up, but when we have the guests, BT asked the question. I remember he asked Finesse 2 times about the Gunna. He asked Babyface Ray about Gunna. Like, if it's a tough question or
Ferrari asked tough questions too, because he went viral for Flage.
Oh,
when you was pressing her about
only because
Lotto.
I know Lotto, I know Flage, right? So I know these people, right? So if I know you and I know you, and y'all break up, I'm gonna ask you what happened to him, because that's my friend and you're my friend. So that's what happened on the interview. I said, Flage, why didn't Lotto put you in the video? And I saw Lotto a couple of weeks later. She was like, Ferrari, why you did all that? I was like, yo, I just asked her a question. Do you guys not want me to ask the question?
We do want you to ask the questions, and you know what I have to do? Clip that up and let everybody see.
Oh, they were killing me in the comments too. They was like, Ferrari, you being messy. But in reality, I literally just said, why were you not in the video? That's your home dog. That's your home team. But your home girl, Angel Reese, was in the video, and she don't even know her like that. That's a real question. Like, why you not in the video?
There's nothing wrong with asking questions.
Yeah, but sometimes in the comments, y'all, boy, when you work for a big blog, which is BallerAlert, because you got to remember, we're separated. We're not BallerAlert. We're the BallerAlert podcast. We work for BallerAlert, but sometimes when the clips go on the BallerAlert page, man, them comments go crazy. You be wanting to argue with everybody, but
man, I ain't arguing.
When I get bored, I will.
But
I jump in the comments sometimes, though, for sure.
Yeah, you got to stay out of the comments.
No.
I don't even go in the comments. I laugh with everybody else.
I don't think those people are real in the comments. I don't think that.
Oh, they real. They're
not.
They real.
Because they will never see you and say that.
They just still live in the house with their mama. They real.
They're not real.
I got a cousin in Florida. She literally has a fake page, and she goes in comments just to troll. That's what she do.
Well, the comments are mad at me and BT right now because we refuse to touch a young woman who came on our show last week. Her name is Wet Wet on Jocelyn's Cabaret.
Oh yeah, on the Zeus show.
And she wanted us to touch her breast, and we kindly declined. And now everybody in the comments are mad at us.
I'm not getting canceled. I'm telling y'all right now. She came on the show, and the first thing she did was, hold on, y'all. Do y'all want to touch my breast?
So people were saying on the show that she was on that her breasts were like rocks. So she wanted to come on a big platform to show that her breasts were soft.
Yeah.
That's the type of stuff we be having to go on the show. We have really good interviews, but unfortunately, those don't get the high views. It be the wildest, craziest stuff that gets 500,000 views. And, sometimes you got to remember, we're BallerAlert, so it's a blog, and it's news, talk, and gossip. Unfortunately, the news doesn't all the way go as high as you want it to go. The gossip goes through the roof. So yeah,
that's why I'm tired of people talking about, like, when I do read the comments, which most of the time I don't read, people always say in the comments like, why these type of people are coming on the show and stuff like that. And I said, because y'all watching. Yeah. Because you watching. Because if you're not watching, then these people wouldn't have the opportunity to get these platforms like coming on a BallerAlert show and other platforms to even do stuff like that, in my opinion. Because I always look at a lot of the interviews that we think, oh my God, we got this big artist is going to come on the show, and this interview is going to go crazy, and then
it gets 20,000 views. You'd be like, wait, what happened?
Yeah, and then
nobody wants to see that.
But then Nikki Natural comes on and it goes 300,000 views.
Yeah.
Wow, she ain't really even say nothing the whole interview.
Because Wet Wet had a great story. We did highlight her story, but people didn't want to see that. They wanted to talk about why we wouldn't want to touch her.
Yes.
Yeah, which is weird, especially in this council culture. Like you want us to touch a woman's breast on camera? Well, I like my job.
Let's keep it pushing. We're going to talk about teamwork and podcasting, the chemistry amongst us. I feel like we said, we've been doing it for a long time, but I think we forged friendships outside, and it comes off great on camera.
Yeah, you got to be really organized if you have a big podcast and it's doing numbers or whatever you guys do out there. If you're trying to do a podcast, we got 2 separate group chats. We got to schedule talent. We got to show up on time. Actually, not even on time. You got to get there at least an hour early. You got to set up. It's on camera, so we got 4 cameras. We got 4 cameras. The microphones. I have to lie to the guests to get them to show up on time. So I usually tell the guests that's arriving, I tell them the wrong time. So whatever time that they think that they're coming, they always show up an hour later. Because that's just how certain people are, especially when you're getting the entertainment industry folks. You got to give them the wrong time. So I'm usually an hour and a half, and then some of them will come on time, and then we're still setting up, which is great. But for the most part, everyone shows up late. So that's like a little gem that I'll give you whenever you're booking talent. I do an hour out because they will be late. We're in Atlanta. We're right in the middle of the city. It's always traffic. In the middle of the afternoon, our show's around 1 p.m. So it's always going to be traffic. So I always do an hour out. And then when they show up an hour late, oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, and I just look at them like, yeah, you showed up on time. I lied.
Hey, Rory.
Come on.
Keep in mind, the big artists show up on time.
That's crazy too, right?
The big artists show up on time.
Jeezy came on time. Boozy was early. Country Wayne was an hour early. And then, these new guys, they're a whole hour late.
They late. They always late.
But, setting up the show and just us, we just have to make sure we stick together and overly communicate, because we could be in an interview and, it's 3 of us. We got to let each other talk. We can't over talk each other. It's a whole little dynamic that we got to create amongst each other.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a team effort. Like Rory says, he books the guest. A lot of people think they could come to me. They can come to me, and if they want to be on the show, but I will kindly put them on Rory, because like I said, I'm a creative, so I have to, shoot the show. I'm setting up, early. I'm there setting up. I'm thinking about content, the way the run of the show. I'm writing it. I am getting these guys together and this is what we're going to do today. This is what we're going to do today. And even when we're in the interview, we got to keep eye contact to know when to move on. Okay, next story. We don't have a lot of time to spend on things. So it's a big team effort.
Before you go, BT, I will say real quick too. You got to remember, ours is a news cycle, so our content has to come out quick. So if we do an episode on Tuesday, we got to drop Wednesday, because if we wait till Friday, that news cycle came out and it's old. Y'all ain't even gonna listen to that or watch that. So our content comes out fast. And
that is very hard to do, especially when you're the only one doing it. Yeah. And I don't have a team yet. So a lot of times people see BallerAlert and they're like, oh man, y'all got this, y'all got that. It's just us. So as soon as we're done, I'm going and I am on my computer and I am, going through the content, sending it to Rory for posting, and I'm creating the next thing, like this is going to be out tonight or something, because it's like we got to get it quick, because people forget so fast, and then your stuff is old really quick.
One of the big things for us, we're working together as a team, is also just remembering people's strong points. When we do these interviews, I always think about what's my strong point. And
I lied to him too. He never shows up on time.
I was going to say that, but I was reserving it.
Wait, you said what?
I lie to you.
To be on time.
Oh, okay.
So that's the time we was here and when he was here.
I was getting some breakfast.
Okay. Continue. Go ahead.
It was just like,
This is baby brother.
It was bagels and fruit and stuff, some healthy stuff. So
go ahead, man.
I take my time. Anyways, I know everybody's strong suit. So I know when we doing these interviews, I know what Octavia's strong suit is in doing the interview. I know Ferrari and I know mine. So a lot of times, people will say like the good things that they will always say is like, man, you guys did such a great interview, because most people cut off the artist, or people are like, somebody's talking about something, then y'all see an interview, I'm like, damn, let the person talk. I want to see, like, damn, so that's one of the main things that we always keep conscious about, is like, we got to let the talent talk, because y'all watching it because of your favorite talent, no matter, I mean, I know we pretty cool too, but majority of the time y'all watching it because of the talent that y'all see on there. So we just always, try to communicate and let the talent talk, because I think that's really important, because some of the podcasts that I watch, I'll be like, man, shut up, man. I came here to watch Nicki Minaj talk or whoever talk, man. Like,
and I would say, I like for us, we always try to strive to, when you guys, Cardi B is going to do 10 interviews, right? But when you watch the one with us, I believe that ours will be the best version of it. Should be the most comfortable there, because we ask the questions. It's comfortable, it's open, and we allow them to talk and be themselves.
Facts. And, sometimes we don't always get it right. Sometimes Rory, myself, or BT will, over talk or something. And it's nothing for me to pull one of these guys aside and say, hey, that was a little much. Let's try this better next time.
She'll do it mid-interview. She'll be like, Rory.
No, they're very receptive.
She'll hit me with them eyes like, hey, nigga.
I'm in production mode, so I'm
Relax.
like, cut. Instead of me, I don't want to interrupt the flow of the energy that's already going on in the interview, so I kind of look like, check your phone.
Yeah,
right
you'll definitely get a text in mid-interview, and
she'll
it'll be
text
like,
us mid-interview like, hey, rap this talking way too long.
Or if the person is very chatty, okay, we have to cut them off, because sometimes we'll get people who just go on tangents, and I'm like, Lord.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you mentioned that too, because a lot of times it's like when you're interviewing people, you kind of like narrating a book. So it's like, if people venture off too much on what people want to listen to, us as talent, we know, like, all right, let me cut you off so we can reel you back in, because you get some of these artists in talent, they talk a lot about nothing. You'll be like, wait, what are we talking about?
Try to deflect.
Mm-hmm. So accountability is really big with us, and we hold everybody accountable after the interviews. And another little secret that we have too is, when we interview or talk to somebody, we normally have a conversation with those people before we even start filming. And a lot of times we try to be like, man, how comfortable they were, how can we get them to be on camera and be just as comfortable? Because you might ask somebody an industry question and then they give you a political thing and then you like, wait, we was just talking off camera and you said how you really feel.
Yeah. And a great example of that is Wet Wet, who we just had, Miss Wet Wet from Jocelyn's Cabaret. And I told her, you know, she was a little late, and, you know, sometimes you get people who are late and they just nasty. And that's when I ain't got time for you. And you're going to get straight to the point.
So in theory, she was 2 hours late because she was already lied to, and she was an hour late for that. Yeah. So then she was 2 hours late. They was about to leave.
But she was so sweet. I had to keep him there because I was at least going to extend her grace. When she came in,
I was ready to leave. I said, man, I don't know who Miss Wet, who Miss Dry. I'm ready to leave. She is 2 hours late.
Yeah, but she came in and she was very sweet. So what I told her is, you know, this is about what your story. So however you want to tell it, that's where we're going to go. That's how I kind of like do all of our interviews. It's like, this is a story about who you are. Your name is at the title of this episode, not ours. Yeah. So it's all about you. So it's like, you know, however you want to take this, or do you want to be who you are, or do you want people to see who you really are?
Yeah.
So
agreed.
That's kind of how I steer the talent. But let's get into how to make a podcast stand out in an oversaturated market.
I think, of course, we got help because it's BallerAlert, right? BallerAlert has 7.8 million followers on Instagram, 1.8 million followers on Facebook, 1.5 million followers on TikTok. I'm leaving out something, but it definitely helps us.
We almost had 100,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Hey, look, so I want to give us some grace right now, man. When we started BallerAlert less than a year ago with the Corey that you guys see, we had 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. We about to hit 100,000 subscribers. That's all us right here. No help. Oh yeah, you hit the snaps. Hit them with the snaps. Okay.
They weren't sure how to work YouTube before us.
Right. But I would say, you know, we try not to get the viral moment, but if it happens, we just expound on it, if it makes sense.
It's all about the viral moment.
I try not to be messy, but if it gets there, I'm gonna ask you the question. So I'm speaking for myself.
Are you messy, or do we have a messy job?
I have a messy job. Like, my job is to ask you the question. You guys don't want to watch an interview that's just basic.
Ferrari don't mind getting his hands dirty. He is all about it.
I've been around in the industry for a long time, so I have relationships with a lot of these people anyway, so I feel like I'm valid with asking that question anyway. So if I feel like I'm asking you a question, I'm not asking you to be messy. I'm asking you because I want to answer, and y'all want the answer. You don't want to hear a rudimentary answer. You want to hear Jeezy say, damn, me and my wife going through the divorce. Not, no comment. You want to watch that, and guess what? You'll probably be inclined to watch it the whole interview. If you see a cliffhanger in the beginning, because Ock does a really good job. She puts the trailer in the beginning of the episode to make you watch the episode. We had Nia K, and in my part, she started crying on our episode. That just came out today.
Yesterday.
Right? Yesterday. She used to be on the Rap Game with Jermaine Dupri. She cried on the episode because her and her dad's relationship is not well. She put it in the beginning of the episode. So she does a lot of things to get people drawn in for you to say, okay, I want to watch that. That looks like it's a great interview. And that motivates me when you guys in the comments, I don't know if anyone is here that comments, but we get a lot of comments that says great interview. So that's my motivation.
No, definitely. You have to grab the audience's attention. Like, what is going to make you stand out amongst every other podcast? I'm a podcast watcher. Not only I watch them, I listen to them, and it's just like, you know, what can I do to, you know, draw people in? Even if it's just for a minute, let me just show you what this is about. So, you know, how crazy Bootsy is, I'm going to just put how crazy and a fool he acted on a minute, for a minute duration, so you can see it real quick and decide, do I want to continue to watch this, or do I just want to click off? But most of the time, people just stay and watch.
Yeah, I agree with both of you guys. I think what's really important, especially when you have a podcast and you're trying to grow, I think great content. So a lot of the questions that I ask, I always envision myself, if I was somebody, you know, that was a regular person, was a fan of this artist or this, you know, influencer, what would I want to ask them if I was sitting right in front of them? Like, what would I want to ask? not what I think or what's my opinion on this person, but I always think like, what do people on the internet really want to ask this person if they were sitting right in front of, somebody like a Jacquees? Because I asked him, I said, I said, man, they always play with you on the internet. And he said, yeah, I wonder, I was just talking about that before I came up here, what made people start like, messing with me on the internet.
King of R&B.
And he said, I think it's when I said I was the king of R&B, and I said, yeah, you effed up when you said that. And it's like, I feel like, most people wouldn't talk to Jacquees like that, but we have a personal relationship, and a lot of the talent have a personal relationship. And I always tell them, like, if you come on the show, let's give the people a show. Let's give them what they want. People want to watch us for the show. Don't just come up here and be like all political, like you at a radio station, like, yeah, man, I don't know.
Hey, we had one bad interview, the Anne-Marie interview. That's still up on YouTube?
Did you have to say the name wrong?
Yeah.
They can go find it, hell.
I know
they don't know it was bad. It didn't look bad.
It didn't look bad, but man, y'all,
Behind
she
the
came in
scenes,
there.
though.
She came in there and said nothing to us. Like, she was just
And
real
after
monotone.
being almost 2 hours late.
And she was late too. Yeah, so it was, we
that's when
had
you-
bad interviews too sometimes.
Yeah, but the interview is bad because of the talent. I always tell talent, it's like, when you come on an interview, it's like this is a TV show, right? I don't look at this as a podcast. This is a TV show. We're becoming more evolved into like watching TV on our phones now.
Yeah.
So I always tell people like, this is a TV show. So what's going to be interesting for people to watch this show versus everybody else? And I think that's what makes us so different with our podcast is we're entertainment segments. So we're going to get on here and we're going to get the guests and we're going to say, okay, what do you think about what's going on in the media with this and this and this and that?
Yep.
And a lot of times you don't get a chance to see like your favorite artist or your favorite influencer talk about, topics. The same thing that we see like, oh man, did you see this on the internet? Like, what do you think about this? And because, a lot of times the talent, they're always trying to like hide and be hidden and be like, hey, just watch my movies or just listen to my music. No, man, what you think about what we seen with Blueface and Christian Rock? What you think?
Yeah, we definitely do a good job of co-hosting with the people. But is anybody starting or have their own podcast in the audience?
You got your podcast? What's the name of your podcast?
Thick as Thieves.
Shout out Thick as Thieves.
And yours?
Talk
in
Top
top
Tier.
tier. Okay. Does anybody have any questions in the audience?
What's your question?
How do we deal with Anne-Marie not talking?
You know what it's like. It's like how you getting ready for work, and when you late, you just hurry up, throw on some clothes, and go outside. That's how you deal with interviews with people that is very much of a dry conversation. You just hurry up, put on your clothes, and leave.
Just like having a bad customer, depending on where you work at, just having a bad customer, man, it's just the same thing. Just do your job and move on.
Now, what's your question? You just answered it.
Yeah.
Be consistent.
Yeah.
For the video's sake, is it more important to be consistent?
Or have the moment? I would say both. I think if you're consistent, you will get the moment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Consistent, man. Listen, guys. If you guys really, to answer your question, watch our Countrywide interview. Please go on BallerAlert TV on YouTube and look for the interview when we interview Country Wayne. Listen, man. You can make it. You guys are losing out on a whole bunch of money out here. Like 6 pieces of content a day, dog. Minimum 3. 3 posts a day, dog. I literally started my Facebook, and keep in mind, we all have our separate Facebooks, right? Instagrams and stuff like that, but we got the BallerAlert show on Instagram, BallerAlert on YouTube, and I keep it quick by saying, I started posting consistently on my Facebook fan page. I went from like 3,000 followers. I just hit 51,000 today. And I just started doing that 6 months ago. But that's because I'm posting 3 pieces of content every day. And I don't know which one reacts. I just post. The Bambi one react. Sometimes it's not even, I'm not even in the clip. BT's in the clip. Sometimes Octavia's in the clip. Sometimes it's not even about me. It's just about the clip.
And what we do is I just try to at least give us, from one show, I try to at least do 10 videos that we can post.
Yep.
So out of those 10, at least 3 gonna go viral.
I agree. And Facebook and Instagram is not the same. What may work on that platform may not work. Snapchat, You know,
TikTok.
You can get you some money on Facebook though.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
How do we break down the content?
Hold, excuse me, guys, one
Right.
moment.
Oh,
we're going to
there
pass
you
you a
go.
mic.
Oh, there we go.
Also,
Perfect.
if you all have any questions, just give us one moment, raise your hand, and we'll pass you a mic so it's loud and clear. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Chase.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I was just asking about the content. Like, so whenever you have the initial podcast episode, what's your approach to like breaking this down? So, for example, on the Thick as Thieves podcast, we have the full length, then we break it into like 3 or 4 horizontals depending on like specific things we're talking about, and then we break that also into 7 to 14 vertical
Got
clips
you.
per week. So I was curious what your approach was.
So when I'm writing the podcast, and the interviewer's coming in, I'm thinking about, I'm gonna ask this question, or he's gonna ask this question. Whatever the question is, I'm always in the moment, like when I'm producing it in real time, when I'm sitting there hosting, I'm already thinking about what I'm gonna post. Or sometimes I'll be like, hey guys, what do you guys think, is your favorite part of today's show? They'll tell me and I'll cut it up for them. And then, but I'll just go through the whole thing and I'll just break it up. Like I'll do one big combined, like a trailer. That's going to be a post because if you could just see what the whole episode was about in one video, 1 minute, then that's going to either draw you in to go see the full video, or, that'll just be a like for that part of social media. But, like I'm sitting there as I'm doing the show and thinking about clipping things as I'm saying things, what I want to see, from this show or whatever. In real time, I'm clipping everything up.
All right. Anybody else got any questions?
She has.
Oh,
No
How y'all doing? I heard y'all mention a few times like relationships. I wanted to know some like key points to building relationships in y'all opinion.
Building relationships with the people.
With us or the
Just
guests?
people in general.
oh, talking
I know
about
y'all
with the talent.
Talk about talent. Just
Hey,
in
I'm
the-
a shark,
in the business,
bro. I'm a shark. Like, I will literally walk up to somebody and be like, hey, bro, I work for BallerAlert. What's up? You coming on the show?
Rory is a genius.
I
at
don't
people.
care. I might see somebody in the hallway. I just saw Lil Duval. I said, hey, bro, you got to come on the show. What's up?
Yeah, you definitely with a lot
Starving
of talent.
for it.
Yeah, with a lot of talent, you just got to be real direct because you got to understand these people have tons of people coming up to them every day. So I use the same approach. Like I host a lot of big parties in Atlanta. So if a talent comes in, like I remember Ferrari was like, yo, we got to get Nick Cannon. And I said, oh, I got a party with Nick Cannon tonight. So I said, hey, Nick, you got to come on the show.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right, take my number. I was like, okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
that's
all right.
the easy
It's like
part.
we really plan it out for real.
But that's the easy part. Rory does the hard part,
yeah,
which
yeah,
is
yeah.
staying on people.
Oh,
He
man.
doesn't mind hearing no 20 times. You tell me no a couple times, I'm like, man, forget this person. But Rory
Yeah,
is so
I know it,
consistent,
yeah.
and you need somebody like that who does not care about hearing no 20 million times. Rory is consistent, and he gets the guests. Like all of our big guests is because of him.
I
Yeah.
will literally annoy the hell out of you until you say yes. You're not
You
going to
tell them about the Boosie, how long we had to wait to
Oh,
get
dog,
that.
so-
And that was one of our biggest interviews.
Like, so again, I being on the radio for a long time, Lil Boosie knows me obviously. So every time I would see him, I know his manager. Hey, bro, I need Boosie on the show. I need Boosie on the show. I'm just literally texting Boosie. I'm texting his manager when I see him. Hey, I need you on the show. So I saw that he was doing a radio run. And he was at V103, local radio station here. So I FaceTime him. He didn't answer. I hit his manager. I said, I know you out, fool. Answer the phone. He answered the phone. Hey, bro, bring him the BallerAlert. All right, we're going to do it, Ferrari. We're going to do it. Tomorrow. I said, tomorrow? And I put him in the chat. It was an off day for us because we usually do Tuesdays and Thursdays.
24/7.
So I was like, hey, we got Boosie tomorrow. What's up? Everybody was like, hell yeah, let's do it. And that's how I did it. You just got to be persistent.
I said, is he going to
And
show
let me
up?
just say something
Yeah,
real quick.
they didn't believe me.
Let me just say something real quick. Ferrari is so special to us because not only he works 24/7, he has a family. He has
Yeah, wife
a
and
lot of
kids.
kids.
He got
New baby.
20
He has
kids.
a wife.
Just had a fifth
he has
kid.
a household to obtain.
Just had a fifth kid, you know what I'm saying? Just
Yes,
had a
he
fifth
just had
kid,
his
you know what I'm saying?
fifth child. Yes. And, he still makes us a priority. And he has a full-time job doing label work as well. So
But that's my passion. The podcast,
Yeah.
I that's me. You know what I'm saying? I love it. You know, the other stuff is cool. My family comes first, obviously. But next in line is this right here because it makes me feel happy to get in front of the microphone and have a great interview. My goal is the great interview every time.
Yeah.
She had a question here.
What do you think was your most influential interview that you have done thus far?
Damn, that's a good one.
Man.
I'll let y'all go first.
Go first.
'Cause I gotta think.
Why y'all just gonna put me on the
He said
spot?
we gotta wrap it up. So
Okay.
Yeah.
So the most influential interview, I mean, I would say personally for me, I would give like my moment is when I did the DeAndre Sanders interview because I was still kind of like new to like being a co-host on the show, and I seen that interview on TMZ. I seen
It was everywhere. That went nationwide.
yeah, that was a nationwide interview. I seen it had like over 20,000 people talking about it on Twitter.
Her veneers almost came out in the episode.
Oh yeah.
But she had to get surgery the next day to get them.
She had some
teeth
temps
put
in.
back
She had some
in.
temps in.
But I think to me that was the most influential interview because that really showed me and taught me that like, you know, like I know what I'm doing.
Go ahead, Rory.
Oh, damn, you going straight to me?
I don't know.
So if I'm saying for BallerAlert, I would say Jeezy. I have a personal relationship with Jeezy. He has a talent agency, and I was able to sign to him, and I traveled the country with him quite a few times, and I was able to give him his flowers on camera, and I just thought that was a dope moment for me. It was a little closer to home than usual, but we've had some fun. My most fun would be Lil Boozy because we've been waiting on that one, and he gave us everything we needed. Like the Chinese, he said he wanted a Chinese baby mama. That went viral. He don't want to have sex with Rihanna no more. He just likes her. That went viral. Like literally everything on his interview went viral. I can never run out of stuff.
You know what else too to add on to the Boosie interview? A lot of y'all probably see like Boosie interviews like on VladTV. Shout out to Vlad.
He gets paid for those. We didn't have to pay him.
So
We don't pay for any of our guests, by the way.
That's a fact. But Boosie, I was like, man, I wonder if he gonna give us the like the Vlad TV Boosie.
Man,
you know what I mean? Like I'm like, I don't know how he go because a lot of times you'll see talent. You like, I don't know how they gonna act when they come in here. But I said, oh, when he started beating on the table and he started saying like Gunna's a rat and all this, I was like,
yeah.
I was like, oh, he.
If y'all want to laugh, please go watch that interview. That's our highest one, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is the highest. But I think the one with most influence, I like all of them because I learned something new from every single show. But I really enjoyed Country Wayne because he gave a lot of knowledge.
Yes. Yeah.
Gigi
Everyone,
McGuire.
please watch that interview. Country Wayne.
Yeah, Gigi
BallerAlert.
McGuire, definitely watch that one because she tells a story, and I am a storyteller. She tells the story. We just kind of gave the outline, and she filled in the blanks like completely. So that is, I feel like, one of my favorite episodes because she really, you can see and vision everything that she said, and she gave us so much game. We always see her out. She's very she's very kind. So and Country Wayne, of course, he gave us a lot of game. Soraya too. Soraya.
Oh yeah, Soraya also lied and told us that she wasn't dating that man.
Joey.
Yeah, she had just broke up with she just broke up with Jacob, so I don't think she wanted to say she was dating the other guy.
Oh,
She coming back on the show though.
But they're saying that we're
done.
We're wrapping.
Or we can do one more. Can we do one more question?
Yeah, can we do one more?
Gabe got a job, man.
Anybody?
Last question.
Last question.
I'm sorry.
Should be on. You should be good now.
Do you always have to be like a celebrity to get that interview? I mean, suppose you go through the store or whatever and you
That's a
just
good
see
question.
something interesting. Would you ask, like, come on our show?
Absolutely not.
Like,
You said, do you have to be a what?
a
Celebrity to get on the show.
Or act like, act like
no.
like a fool or whatever, you know what I mean? Because that's
No, we don't.
It got to make sense though.
Yeah.
Because I would say the type of views and the people who rock with us, or not us, I'm talking about the brand and what we put out, they want to be entertained, so it will have to make sense. You know what I'm saying? It just ain't gonna be no random person. You gotta have something going on for sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's what's up.
holler at Ferrari.
Yeah.
But,
You can bother
we're
me,
giving us
though.
the wrap-up signal right now. I'm Octavia March.
Ferrari Simmons at Ferrari Simmons.
At BT, even though y'all put my whole name on the fly.
And BallerAlert TV, y'all. Thank y'all so much for having us. Thank you.
Peace.